Hi there, this is Mel from lovedisbest.com, and today I'm sharing with you a second day of what I eat on the Weight Watchers Green Plan. So just a little bit of information about myself to share with you. I started on Weight Watchers in 2020, and it was a crazy year, obviously, to try to accomplish some weight loss. I lost over 75 pounds in under a year with Weight Watchers and focusing on a healthy mindset. These are the two things that I would recommend. So what we have going on behind me is an accountability calendar as well. I attribute a lot of my motivation to a really strong group of individuals that we make up the Loved is Best crew. You're welcome to join. I have the link down below. Just click it. You'll be included in our emails about accountability and focusing on getting your heart rate going every day, or not going, hopefully get your heart rate up every day, as well as trying to earn those blue dots on Weight Watchers. If you're not on Weight Watchers, that's totally fine. I also have members who are just along for the motivation and the email letters that you'll get. So let's get started on today's 29 points on green. This morning's breakfast is a 2-ingredient dough homemade bagel. This one has everything spice, this one has Tex-Mex, so I'm going to go with the everything spice to go with my egg sandwich this morning. Before I freeze the bagels, I like to slice them in half and separate with parchment paper. It just makes it easier for when it comes time to defrost them and eat them for breakfast or lunch. If you haven't tried making the 2-ingredient dough yet, I included a link in the description section below for my super easy how-to video on how to treat the dough. It can be a bit sticky at first, but with my few tips, you'll be a pro in no time. Make sure to flip your bagel halfway. I find because it is being kind of defrosted at the same time, it's important to flip it. Now back to this bagel breakfast. Just pop it in the toaster or toaster oven, flipping halfway, and then you're ready to go in like 2 or 3 minutes. So it's 4 points for the bagel itself. I believe on blue and purple it's 3, but for green it's 4 for sure. We have 1 point for the Laughing Cow cheese that I'm spreading on right now. It gives it almost cream cheese kind of consistency to your breakfast sandwich, so I really like adding the Laughing Cow. This is a plain one. If you're feeling a little bit crazy, you could add the herb and garlic, which also tastes really good. Maybe not with the egg, but on its own, it's really tasty with a plain 2-ingredient dough bagel. So I'm adding the egg here. That's going to add 2 more points for our egg breakfast. I didn't use anything in the pan, so you don't have to count olive oil or spray or anything like that. A little dollop or dash, I guess, of Frank's hot sauce is 0 points. Adds a lot of delicious flavor with 0 points. So for the whole bagel, it's 4 for the bagel, 2 for the egg, 1 for the Laughing Cow. So you're looking at a 7-point breakfast, and it tastes so delicious. My mid-morning snack this morning is going to be 4 points. It's 2 points for this Nordica 1% cottage cheese. It's the Nordica on the go pack. I like to sprinkle it with a good amount of cinnamon because it adds like a nice sweet flavor for 0 points. The water I'm working on is the second bottle of the day. I try to drink 3 of those 1,000 milliliter bottles. That helps kind of like keep my snacking under control. And what I'm actually going to pair with the cottage cheese is these Salamas. I have no idea how to pronounce this cracker name, but they are available at Walmart, Salmas. But they're oven-baked corn crackers, and they're really good. They have a nice salty flavor to them, and they're really good for dipping because they're only 2 points for the package of 3, and it just adds kind of like a cracker taste without killing your points for the day. I really like Triscuits and things like that, but this I find more filling for the amount of crackers that you actually get to enjoy. Lunch today is a really easy meal prepped chili that I made. I made it a couple days ago, so this is like day 2 or 3 on this same lunch. But what I like to pair with it is Liberté plain Greek yogurt, 0%, so non-fat. And a 1/4 cup is only 1 point, so it brings this bowl to a total of 5 points. It's actually our Loved is Best low point soup recipe, but I added another point to it because I made it a bit thicker, more chili-like. Nice cream, which is basically a play on ice cream for 0 or 1 points, depending on what liquid you're going to add to it. It can be a little bit tricky to get the consistency right, so I found there's a specific kind of pattern to do it so you get smooth ice cream and not chunks. Try pulsing the bananas to get the base and then work from there. You have to be careful not to over whip it once you add the liquid, like for the almond milk for example, or else you get these little white crystal chunks and they aren't very tasty. I think maybe it's like the equivalent to burnt ice cream or over frozen ice cream, I'm not sure. So this exact batch today is 1 cup of frozen strawberries, 1 frozen banana, and a tiny splash of plain unsweetened almond milk. It keeps it all at 1 point. I count 1 point for 1 cup of plain unsweetened almond milk because sometimes I end up adding a bit more to make it more of like a smoothie consistency. It takes about a minute or two to get the consistency closer to ice cream or frozen yogurt. I actually like to leave chunks of banana in mine, so this is not the smoothest consistency that you could achieve. You could achieve something smoother. I feel like the banana chunks in there remind me of high school and how I used to get Yogen at the movies all the time, so I don't know, it's just the way that I like mine ice cream. So dinner tonight is tilapia because fish is so low on points. I'm talking the whole plate of food you just saw the picture of is only 4 points for the tilapia, 2 points for the potatoes, so 6 plus 1 for the olive oil, 7, 0 for the asparagus, and then 2 points for the Mel's mayonnaise unnamed sauce that you'll see coming up. So 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 points, and it's so filling. The first thing to get on the go for tonight's dinner is what will take the longest. In this case, the baby yellow potatoes. I roast way more than is necessary for one dinner, but that's because we really like the leftovers for morning breakfast bowls. These little gems are coated in 1 teaspoon of olive oil as well as half a tablespoon of dehydrated garlic. I also like to sprinkle them with a little bit of salt. Really make sure to coat them and then toss them in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes. I like to check at about 10-minute mark. They may need a flip. Next, we're going to get our 0 point spice rub ready to coat both sides of the tilapia fish. While the tilapia is in the oven, it's time to prep your asparagus or whatever kind of green vegetable you're going to add with your fish. Right now I'm really into asparagus because it's fresh in Ontario and it tastes so good. And I'm attempting a air fryer recipe today with it. So here we go. Let's see how it turns out. When I cook asparagus, I like to make sure to kind of snap off the woodier part at the end. Some people have been telling me that you can even use a potato peeler and give it a little bit of a peel at the bottom to get rid of the woody flavor. I'm gonna have to try that. I got that advice on Connect after I had already made this video, so that is something I'm gonna keep in mind. So thank you to those who are suggesting that for to me when I was asking about asparagus and how everyone cooks it. So this recipe today is super easy. I put 1 teaspoon of olive oil into the air fryer and a sprinkle of sea salt and a little bit of pepper, and they really did turn out really good and crispy, you'll see. So the air fryer that I have is a Tefal, and it's just a circular one. It's not in like a cage or a net or like other ones that I've seen. So it's just got the on and off switch. There's no temperature gauge or low, medium, high or anything like that. So I just set it on, set it for 15 minutes, and I check at the 15-minute mark. It's usually not done, so then I added it in for another 10 more minutes, and then it came out really crispy at about 25 minutes. At about halfway through the cooking of the potato, I toss in some onions just to add some extra flavor. Mel's Magic Mayo Sauce was born out of my really intense love of Big Macs and Big Mac sauce and also anything dill pickle, like think dill pickle chips, dill pickle popcorn, just pure dill pickles themselves. I really wanted to make a sauce that incorporated both of my favorite things, but here's where the magic happens. This dip only is worth 2 points on the green plan. So magically, it's delicious and doesn't ruin your point count for the day. So the base of Mel's Magic Mayo Sauce is obviously mayonnaise. We use Hellmann's half-fat mayonnaise, and in this recipe, I go between 30 and 35 grams, which is roughly 2 tablespoons, and that gives you the base of the creaminess of the sauce. Next is Liberté plain 0% Greek yogurt, 15 grams or equivalent to 1 tablespoon. The important thing here is if you want to double the recipe, triple the recipe, just make sure you keep the ratio at 2 to 1. 2 being the mayonnaise, 1 being the plain Greek yogurt. I find if you mess with that ratio, the tanginess and the tartness of the plain Greek yogurt takes over and you lose that creamy mayonnaise kind of texture. Next is just a splash of apple cider vinegar. It's about 1/4 teaspoon when I actually did sit down and do all the measuring for this recipe. Next is a dash of onion salt. Again, be gentle with the onion salt. I find it can overpower. Again, it's about 1/4 teaspoon of this as well. 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. This is what gives it that kind of cool orangey color when it finishes because it mixes with the 1/2 teaspoon of mustard. You can also use Dijon mustard depending on how spicy you really want to have your version of this sauce. I've recently started adding cayenne pepper to the mix as well, but again, if you have a kind of, we call it a wimp palate in the family, that's what I used to be. Ever since having kids, I'm like obsessed with spicy food. Don't know what happened there. That's about, I would start with like 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and work your way up. Now, the next ingredient is the secret sauce, dill pickle juice. Add it right in there. It's about 1/2 tablespoon to 1 tablespoon. It depends again like how thick you'd like the sauce or creamy or whatever you're going for. So start with 1/2 tablespoon, mix it, give it a taste. If you think it could be even more dilly, like I love dill pickles, go ahead and add some more. The other thing you could also do is you can chop up really fine a 1/2 of dill pickle, and that you can add it right into the sauce to make it even more dill. I didn't do that today, but I do often like to add those crunchy bits in there. It just really makes the dill pickle flavor even stronger. And that's it. Last but not least is the plating. I do try to make at least one meal of the 3 every day look kind of professional. Not professional, but like I made some effort. It does make the meal seem a little bit more special when it looks nice, I guess, right? So the finished product here is 3 points for the 4 baby yellow gem potatoes, 2 points for the 4 ounces of tilapia, 0 for the asparagus itself, but the teaspoon of olive oil adds 1 point. Add 2 points for 1/2 of Mel's Magic Mayo Sauce, bringing the grand total to 8 points for this really giant full plate of food. Last but not least, the end of the day's snack, which is 10 Triscuits for 3 points. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I hope you got some good ideas and maybe some inspiration for some lower point meals to help you meet your weight loss goals this week, this month, and then obviously over into the full year and moving forward in your weight loss journey. If you like this video, thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe. And also, if you watch one back, there is day 1 of this series. Not that far because we're only on day 2. But I have day 3 recorded, so I'm going to hopefully upload that this week. And I also have a trailer edition. So what are the healthy things that I bring to the trailer in camping to stay on track? And I also have a couple s'more ideas in there too, which won't break the bank in terms of your weeklies. So just a few things that are coming up. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed already. It really means a lot. And it means that I can continue making these videos and sharing ideas with everyone. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.